And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day in studio, helping you win as your number one consumer advocate. It's all about you, helping you with your buying decisions, helping you avoid a lot of the commission-based advice that's so prevalent in our community. Our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, and we want to help you win.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline. Call or text that line. It's our off-air number. And also consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website at consumerqb.com. Check out the website. You can see links to all of our expert contributors. You can see some of our past shows and content, and also submit an email form. Another way that you can engage with us is by submitting that form at consumerqb.com. And this segment is brought to you by the Lucky Dill Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Lucky Dill Restaurant, home of the sandwich that ate Brooklyn. And it's a restaurant, it's a deli, it's a New York City bar, it's a Brooklyn bakery, catering, banquets, and more. Check out luckydilldeli.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. 4606 West Boy Scout Boulevard in Tampa. The Lucky Dill Restaurant right here in Tampa. Also Palm Harbor on US 19 North in Palm Harbor, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. It's Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio. Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. Welcome back, sir.
Thanks, Brandon. It's great to be back, especially right now. I don't know if it's just me, but it is hot out there. So.
Man, somebody told me last week we had like 90 or 10 straight days of 90 plus, 95.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, man.
It's definitely been kicking it up for us. My guys have been working 60-hour weeks right now. It's insane.
Wow.
So,
yeah, this seems like it's the first real hard, heat push of the first year of the new year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And we got Mary Surnicki in the house. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Suncoast Roofing.
So glad to be here. It's nice to see you guys again. Looking forward to sharing some of our new stuff that's coming out.
Yeah, awesome. And I just heard about Roofs for Troops. That's awesome, too.
Absolutely. We really love our veterans. We love people that are in active military. We want to help them out a little bit when they need some home repairs for their roof.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Thomas King back in studio, Florida Firearms Academy.
Hey, Brandon. Florida Firearms Academy. We're going to talk about some of what we're doing there today, and also something about your Second Amendment and your rights and everything like that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. The Bill of Rights, the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, the right to, carry the weapon of your choice, concealed weapon, of course.
That's right.
Sure.
Not Texas. Texas is open carry out there, aren't they?
There's a couple places. There's open carry in Florida, believe it or not, if you're going to and from a range or going hunting, camping, or fishing.
Nice. Okay.
You can open carry.
Interesting. Okay.
Most people don't know that, though.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I would have thought that. And I, shout out to U.S. and Texas Law Shield. I signed up for that. I feel much better that I did.
Awesome. They're going to do a free seminar at the store, too, coming up. There's going to be an attorney there and an officer there that you can ask them all the questions you want to ask. So
nice.
Great.
I like that.
Great deal to have.
Very cool. All right. We also have our feel-good story of the day coming at you in our feel-good segment. We've got a man that graduates with a nursing degree from same university where he worked as a janitor. What a cool story there. Rags to riches story there on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And let's jump right into it. So we've got a couple of hot listings here I got to let you know about. This one is in Odessa. It's one of my favorite listings right now. It's 12610 Port Marnock Drive. It's in a golf community in Odessa, gated community, and it has just amazing flooring throughout. Great flooring, great floor plan, and the property is very spacious. It's a large home, and if you check out the beautiful photography compliments of Fabre Frameworks, the aerial drone photography that they provided, you've got water views in the back, you've got a pond and a pond in the front as well, or a lake in the front at 12610 Port Marnock Drive in Odessa, Florida. $530,000 listing of mine. Owners are motivated. Let's get them moving on this property. And 11540 Shipwatch. This is a neat condo unit. It's a 2-bedroom condo on the lakefront within 5 minutes of the beach. It's a great opportunity over in Largo, Florida. 11540 Shipwatch Drive, Unit 1391 in Largo. It's in Shipwatch, and it's a great condo. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, so it's hot outside, and we got Gregg Bowman in the house, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. He can help you. Of course, he's got a great team in this Tampa Bay region helping folks understand more about their cooling systems. And I can say from firsthand experience now that I had his team over, and they were very friendly. They did a great job, jumped up in the air handler area there and showed me what's going on, because I still have it. My builder didn't say, like, here's exactly what you want to look for, here's how you operate this system. Just kind of learned it.
Yeah, well, great. I'm glad to hear that our experience with you was a positive one. That's our goal. We want to make sure everybody's well taken care of, and that's what we strive for in every situation. So I thought it's a little bit late to probably be talking about it, but May is actually National Allergy and Asthma Awareness Month. Do it every year. The National Asthma and Allergy Awareness Program sets up May because it is the time of year where most people are experiencing allergy symptoms from hay fever, those type of things. And a lot of people don't realize that is something that can really be addressed and improved in their indoor air quality through their air conditioning system.
That's interesting.
So yeah, definitely it's a time of year to think about that. With not only can we cool your home, but we can also treat the indoor air quality and improve that and help relieve some of those symptoms. So might not be able to help you when you're outside, but at least when you come in the house, can hopefully get rid of some of those symptoms for you.
Yeah, the indoor air quality is one of the things that people, it's kind of brushed over. I don't think it's talked about enough, or there's not enough awareness about the indoor air quality.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, it's known that the indoor air quality in our homes is up to 5 times more polluted than it is outside. The EPA has identified that and preached on that for years, but it's just kind of one of those things that we don't really think about. Until we start having symptoms, and then maybe we do. But we can definitely do things to improve that, that air quality. And some things that aren't really that expensive can be done to really make a huge improvement.
Yeah. I wonder how much the indoor air plants, like the plant, not air plants, but just having a plants in the house. My wife has one of those herb walls, or, where the plants kind of grow on the wall there on a vertical. So I wonder how much of that plays into it, and then what other recommendations you may have, Gregg.
Yeah, I definitely think anything you can do like that. If you've got a green thumb and can maintain that in your home, then yes, I think the plants are a great way to help with your indoor air quality, because they will take the byproducts of our breathing inside the home and convert that back into the right products for us to breathe again. So definitely, and they filter the air too. So plants are definitely a great natural way to treat the air in our homes. But unless you've got a great green thumb and have a jungle growing in your home, there's probably some other steps that need to be taken, and we can definitely help with that. There's basically 3 areas that the EPA has identified, 3 what they call danger levels in the home.
Okay.
The first being dust and particulates, which we'd all be familiar with that when we have to dust our home. So the dirt basically in the air that settles out of the air, that would be the dust and particulates. Second danger area would be the other thing we all know about, the big M word, mold, bioaerosols, bacteria in the air, viruses in the air. And then the final thing, which we don't often hear so much about, but that's the VOCs, the volatile organic compounds. It would be, we buy a new couch, and that smell coming off of that we appreciate, or the new carpet, when we put that down, we love the way that smells. That smell is actually a volatile organic compound, which can cause respiratory issues and things like that, depending on each person. So there are air quality products that treat all 3 of those areas. So there's things that we can do to identify those issues and then treat them.
Wow, that's interesting. I wonder if there's been any long-term studies done on people that utilize the products, because I've heard of the different infrared. Basically, it's a laser that runs through and kills a lot of those airborne illnesses that you mentioned, the mold, the viruses, some of those. So that would be one question there. Is I wonder if there's any long-term studies on that. And then secondly, one thing that my wife pointed out to me that I didn't really realize, I thought, you light a candle and it smells good, and she says, no, you're putting synthetics into the air. You're putting chemicals in the air. It's not good for you.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Your second point there about the candles, it is a thing that we have noticed that you've got to be careful with. We've gone into homes already where people have said, I went to change my filter and it was pitch black. It was filthy. What's going on?
Wow.
And it was candles, burning them. If you're not careful with a candle, they will soot as they're burning and produce a lot of carbon monoxide and soot products that get into the air, which then will show up on walls or in your filter or things like that. So, but yeah, those can be harmful. Some of even just the products that make the home smell good,
like the Febreze
type stuff. Yeah, you got to be careful with that too. Too much of that can actually be harmful and a pollutant in the air, which can cause allergy issues or asthma issues or those type of symptoms. So it is definitely a area that I think we need more focus on and more study on. You mentioned about if there's any long-term studies. There are definitely studies about the effects of indoor air quality, but I don't know if there's any studies proving a good treatment method to do it. I mean, there are definitely products that have track records and they have studies attached to them of what they're attempting to treat, but as far as like going into a home and saying, well, this is the problem when we arrived, and now this is how it is when we're done. I don't know if there are any really long-term studies on that type of thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, got a great team here. Again, support the local economy and by supporting our local expert contributors here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Coming up, we got Mary Surnicki, Suncoast Roofing, Thomas King as well, Florida Firearms Academy here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and our feel-good story of the day. Man graduates with nursing degree from same university where he worked as a janitor. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. The Real.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. This segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brothers Easy Moving, and I can tell you from firsthand experience that they are a first-class organization. They did a great job with my family's move, and we trusted Brothers Easy Moving, and they delivered. They have a 4.6 rating on the Tampa Bay, a 4.6 rating on Google, and also a 4.5 on Yelp, and they've also won the Super Service Award multiple times. Check out Brothers Easy Moving. Tell them that the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we want to help you win in real estate as well. A couple of hot property listings here that we've got in Tampa. 223 South River Hills Drive. We've got open houses going on this weekend at 223 South River Hills Drive. This one is in Temple Terrace, and it's a great opportunity to get in the real estate game right on the river. This is on the Hillsborough River, and it's just listed. Stunning 5-bedroom, 2.5 single-family home situated on a conservation lot on the Hillsborough River. Hot real estate properties at PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, we got Mary Surnicki back in studio. It's been a little while since we've had you in studio, Mary.
I know. My, Suncoast Roofing is just taken off. We have 6 offices, and I've gotten to spend a lot of time in each of them. So,
nice, okay.
Yeah, I wish I could spend more time with you guys here. It was nice when I was just like little Tampa, just there.
Well, the Panhandle, kind of happened out of necessity, didn't it?
It did, and so did like the Bonita Springs area and stuff like that. So, and the biggest thing about Suncoast Roofing is like we're not storm chasers, but like when we go into a place that might have been devastated by a storm, we're there to stay. You know what I mean? Like we're going to be there. So, and we're going to answer all your needs, any kind of warranty issues you might have a year or two after. We're going to be the ones you're going to call, and you're going to get, you're going to get us on the phone. The actual people that sold you the job in the first place.
That's right.
It's really big for our company. Like we're a family, family orientated company, and I think that's the difference maker with us.
Yeah, I like that. Now your role is more on the operations side. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm the corporate compliance manager. So I kind of go to each of the offices and kind of make sure that we're all doing things the same way, and that our customers are getting the same level of service, whether they call us in Bonita Springs for an appointment, or if they call us in Melbourne, or if they call us in Tallahassee, they're all getting the same level of care, because it's important,
Yeah.
Because you get roofers out there, especially after storms and stuff like that, that will promise, and they just underdeliver. And that's one of the things Suncoast Roofing doesn't do. We don't overpromise and underdeliver.
Yeah.
Like if there's something we're like, no, we really can't do things that way.
Right.
And there's a reason why. We're regulated. We're regulated by the state. We have our license that we protect. So it's very important that we do things the right way. And referrals is the best way of getting new business. We want to make sure we're taking care of our customers all the way through their process, from the time they sign that contract until they're done with that contract.
Yeah.
And even 6 months to a year or a couple of years after, if they're having an issue or problem, they need to be able to feel comfortable to call the roofer that they chose and know that we're still there.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got the 50-year pledge from GAF, Master Elite Certified Warranty.
Yep, we're a Master Elite installer for GAF. With that come a lot of benefits. There's only like 2% of roofing contractors in the state of Florida that are a GAF Master Elite. We're able to offer a program called Roof for Troops, which we just passed Memorial Day. So we want to thank you to all our veterans.
Yes.
But veterans and people that are in active duty, they just, they get a little bit of a bonus, a little discount off, and they get like a $250 gift card after we're done from GAF. So it's nice because we want to recognize, everything they do for us.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. And with the Platinum MVP team, we offer a quarter to a half a point discount to veterans. We got a big event that we're planning with Captain Matt Bruce, another radio and TV personality here in the market. He's actually in 159 markets. Joseph Pippin, the estate planning attorney, Patrick Highland, our host on Friday Night Live. So the veterans, definitely. I love that you're doing that. And Chuck, so Chuck's been on the show. So if you're familiar with the show and you've heard Chuck on here, tell us what Chuck does, Mary.
Chuck is the director of our organization. He's the director of our company. So he goes into areas where we're looking for new business and stuff like that, and he leads our sales team, and he does a great job, and he's always from the $1 million projects to the $5,000 projects, he'll go out there and give you the same level of care.
I like that. That's awesome. And Chuck, when it comes into the consumer advocate side, he sees it as well firsthand, where a lot of these companies, right after the storm, they come in and there was that one, they came in and got $5,000 from like 10 of the different neighbors as a deposit. And then it showed like he was, this from a consumer advocate perspective, I could see how the homeowners got duped, because he's like, hey, he's jumping up there, he's initially jumping up there and putting the blue tarp on the roof, stopping, preserving the property, and then he asked for the $5,000 up front, and then of course they didn't see the guy again. But we're talking with Mary Surnicki, Suncoast Roofing, and how you guys are different, so that you wouldn't ask for that much money up front on a job either, right?
No, we don't. We the only we get like a $500 to $1,000 deposit, like on a re-roof. If it's something extensive, then there might be a little bit more, 10% down. But no, it's not like that. And especially when we're in a time of crisis, like after a storm, June 1st starts hurricane season. So, if we have a weather event, we're there for you. And we come out and we give you it's the same price whether we're in hurricane season or not hurricane season. That's the biggest deal. We also have an insurance team at our corporate office that handles anything to do with insurance, because let's face it, we're not insurance experts. We're not really sure what we pay for a month. You know what I mean? But they'll look at your policy and tell you, and help you with that process, because you have adjusters that are flown in from all over the country. They're not here in Florida. They come from all over the country. They come in and they say, approved, not approved. Oh, you'll get this amount. But they don't realize that maybe a tile roof costs $65,000 to install, with labor, with material, and how long it might take for it to be installed.
Right.
So there might be some emergency preparations we might have to do. We might have to dry it in twice, or we might have to put that emergency tarps over it. But the biggest thing is to make sure that your largest investment that you make in your life is protected at all times.
That's right.
And the roof does that.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's all part of the the piece of building wealth in America. If for properties, got a situation where you've got leaks or different situations from an event, so hurricane season's here. Do you guys have any kind of tips to our listeners what they can do in preparation?
Well, the biggest thing is if you notice you have a little spot on the ceiling, you might see that it might be something we need to come out and just take a look at. We do free estimates.
Okay.
So if you call one of our offices, you will get a trained professional that comes out. He'll look at it. He'll look at the roof. He'll go on top of the roof, not just get a sky measure. He'll actually go in your attic and look and see what the problem is. We'll write it up. And whether you buy that day or whether you buy a month from now, or God forbid, even after a hurricane or something like that, you can count that our price is going to be the same.
Wow.
We give the same level of care, and that's super important. The only time that we do serious price hikes is if there's in the material.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that is something that, goes to every roofer across the board.
And that leads me to my next question. Do you have any of that going on right now with the the situation with the potential trade war and those things?
With the tariff, what is it, tariffs?
The tariffs,
yeah, that starts. They pushed it back from January 1st to now July 1st. So our customers will be, experiencing, a price difference in the material. Yeah. Especially in metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suncoastroofing.net. Mary Surnicki, you've seen Chuck Peterson on the show. And I think you brought up a great point when it comes to dealing with insurance companies. And sometimes even if it's your own insurance company, if you say the wrong thing or, and you guys work directly with attorneys that specialize in those catastrophic events, those insurance claims.
Mm-hmm. We do. And we have Butch and Eric over in our corporate office that are experienced in the insurance industry. So they literally, when we have something that we know it's an insurance claim, we send all the information over to them. They talk to your insurance company for us, and it's just a benefit. It helps the consumer have more buying power, you know what I mean, and have more control over their largest investment, which is their home.
Absolutely. Yeah, many cases. And then, there's some investors out there that, they're out-of-state investors, even worse, right? They're out-of-state.
Or they have storm chasers that are from out of state. They're coming in from Texas, Oklahoma.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We are a Florida-owned and operated company.
Yep.
We're here for the long haul, before and after the storm. And getting prepared for the hurricane season, we have to let us come out. Let us take a look at your roof.
Yep.
Because the last thing you want is to realize that you have a problem with your roof during a hurricane.
That's right.
Yeah.
Especially this rainy season's coming up.
Yeah.
Great time to trim those trees back and take a look at it, make sure everything's going on well. And free estimates offered by Suncoast Roofing, longtime friends of the program. They do a great job here on the show, acting as a consumer advocate as well for our listeners out there. Roofs for Troops. I love that program as well. More from Mary coming up in our lightning round here. And when we come back, Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy. We're going to dive into gun ownership, concealed carry, and your rights to carry as a American citizen here, right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And our feel-good story of the day, man graduates with a nursing degree from the same university where he worked as a janitor. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Make sure you follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter. The Consumer Quarterback Show page is out there as well on Facebook. And let's connect on LinkedIn as well. See you right on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. Short time out.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, Brandon Rhymes here. We're back on the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win as your consumer advocate. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter. Consumer Quarterback Show page is out there as well. And we got a couple of hot listings here I want to let you know about. 4449. This is Marine Parkway. A great opportunity, beautiful property, brand new listing of ours. And it's a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, waterfront townhome. And it's in Gulf Harbor. It's just a great opportunity in Port Richey. Beautiful property. Works out well as an Airbnb. The owner's been making a really good amount of money on it. She's wanting to liquidate some of her real estate holdings, however. This has bay access right out into the bay. There's no bridges to contend with either. 449 Marine Parkway, Newport Richey, one of my favorite new listings in the area here. Great property here. All of our properties are at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.com. This segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bilmar Beach Resort on Gulf Boulevard and Treasure Island, filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation that much more special. The Bilmar Beach Resort has been one of the most sought-after destinations in the Treasure Island area for many years. And they've got 2 pools on site, Sloppy Joe's restaurant and bar, and it's just a great opportunity. Nice little escape from the Tampa Bay local staycation here when you go over to the beaches. Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, back here in studio helping you win. A great lineup today. We got Gregg Bowman in the house, the AC guy in Tampa Bay. Mary Surnicki as well. Suncoast Roofing coming up in our lightning round. And now we're going to shift gears. We're going to talk Florida Firearms Academy here with Thomas King. Welcome back in. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. You know, I love being on the show. I always get to learn cool things with Gregg, talking about AC and you know, the allergy part. And Mary's just updating me on some more information on the breaks during for roofing. So that's always great. You always learn something on your show. It's really
cool.
Good.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Thanks.
And I'm prepared to learn something here about this red flag law. I just learned about it a little bit. Wow.
That's something that most people don't know about, and it's really scary right now. And I'm going to tell you this story that really made me want to really talk about this was this guy called our store and he said, hey, look, I don't know what's going on. The cops are at my door. They're banging on it. They're saying they're here to confiscate my firearms. I thought it was a joke. I looked. It was the police officers. What do I do? And I said, you know, at first I thought it was a joke, a prank call. And I said, well, you hang up and you call your attorney.
Yeah.
And he says, look, I don't have an attorney. I don't have anyone to call. I don't know what to do. I told him, hold on a minute. I need to make a phone call. So he said, I come shoot at your range, and you guys have always been helpful. What do you think I should do?
Wow.
He said, should I just tell them to go away? And he said, what do you think they would be doing this for? I haven't done anything wrong. I've not broken any laws. And I asked, well, have you done anything to trigger the red flag law? And he said, oh, my Lord. I just broke up with my girlfriend 3 days ago.
Ooh.
You think she would have done this to me? And I said, was she mad at you? She goes, yeah, she wasn't happy about it. And he said, what is this country coming to? What should I do? Should I get my guns and put them in a bag and bring them out? And I said, no, I'm not an attorney and I can't give you legal advice. But if it was me and they were knocking on my door, I would say, hey, I'm coming out with my hands up. I am not armed. And because someone in Maryland was shot because of this law.
Wow.
And he didn't give his firearm up. Well,
wow.
And I said, come out and let them know, hey, you go get the firearms. I'm not going to touch them. And he said, what is this country coming to? I have not done anything wrong. So basically this law is if someone doesn't like your race, your color, your political beliefs, whatever it may be, a post that you posted on Facebook, they can call up and basically say, hey, this guy's unstable. And as of May this year, 1,700 firearms have been confiscated because of this law. And this law is now in Florida.
Wow.
So this law really needs to be demolished. It needs, people need to call in, write in. They don't do due diligence or anything. They just come. There's a task force that comes, and they get your firearms.
Wow.
Whether you have done anything right or wrong or whatever it may be, I understand how, why they think this was a good idea, but it's really not. It's unconstitutional, and it needs to be abolished. So.
Wow. Yeah, that's a crazy story, man. It sounds like a disgruntled, girlfriend or what, wow. And then to have law enforcement just jump to the side of, let's err on the side of going out and disrupting this guy's, life.
There's actually a task force that's built now here in Florida that actually does this for them. So they're specifically go out because most officers don't want to go confiscate someone's firearms, especially if it's unconstitutional. Now, of course, if you've broken a law or you're a bank robber, sure, they're going to go out there guns blazing. They're going to make sure they get this fire, make sure they're going to apprehend you and take you in. But someone that's just a law-abiding citizen that's not done anything wrong because someone may not like you or what you believe in, that this could happen. So
the red flag law is the name of it. We want you to call your senator, your congressman, call everybody and tell them you're against this law.
Absolutely. It doesn't even need to be fixed because this is unconstitutional at its finest. I mean, to have someone just come and take your firearms away because someone said something is so ridiculous. So should I say that? Should I call and say, hey, you shouldn't own a car because, you know what, I saw you reckless driving the other day. Even though I don't have any proof to show that you did it, they're going to come take your car away? That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous.
Yeah, and I understand that, you know, they want to make laws that help and stop shootings and things, but this does absolutely nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, even on that side of it, and we're talking with Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and he's got a great location on Tampa Road, kind of West Hillsborough Avenue there, close to the flea market, close to the county line. Florida Firearms Academy, check them out. They got great shooting range and all kinds of classes, fun stuff from kids all the way to seniors. But you know, Thomas, it seems like when this conversation happens, it's after a mass shooting or something, where somebody that was, you know, let's pick on the FDA for a minute. You know,
that's exactly
he's taking lithium pills, he's taking Prozacs, he's taking, you know, who knows, a cocktail of what he's taken.
Right.
But they don't go after the pill makers; they go after the guns and claim that it's the gun.
It's the gun, and you know, I believe every mass shooting was someone on some kind of medication that brought them to some kind of mental disorder.
Exactly.
But this problem right here is going after people that are law-abiding citizens. So it's unconstitutional, and any gun owner is at threat because of this law here in Florida.
Yeah, it really is. Wow. And it's sad that it seems like in most cases that it's a bipartisan thing. Oh, you know, if you vote this side, they're for guns. You vote that side, they're not for guns. You know, it just seems like there's too many of those. There's 300 million people or plus in America now. You know, how do we all have to get painted with one brush or the other?
Right.
You know?
It's so divided now that we can't even work together in Congress. So to come up with something, it's if you actually do come up with a good side idea on one side, the other side just tries to block it because it was their idea. It's just kind of ridiculous now. But this needs to stop. And you know, I would say there's probably 50 to 100 more laws that they want to put out there. There's already 20,000 gun laws across America. If they can't get it right after this much, you know, I mean, just stop. Let us figure it out for you. I mean, like, when you go to a courthouse, we actually talked about this earlier. There are people there with firearms to protect the people in the courthouse. There's metal detectors there. Just like in most places, it could be like that. But you know what? They're not going to stop the threat at the door, especially at schools now. But
so that was another change that we saw happen with this last judicial session. Is now they are voting to allow some teachers to carry.
Right, but that's only in certain areas. But by the time that a teacher can carry a firearm, I mean, there could be another shooting. There's always going to be another shooting. There's always going to be another DUI crash that kills someone. There's always going to be somebody because people are on all these medications that are doing things that are harmful to everyone else, and they don't have any consequences on themselves because they're not mentally stable.
Yeah, it's too much of, it's the school's fault, it's the government's fault, it's the employer's fault, and not the person's fault, not the citizen's personal responsibility.
It's easy to point that finger at whose fault it is, but I guarantee you this: if the people actually stood up and said, "Hey, you know what? We need to take all the firearms away from our military and all the nuke and missiles to protect America," they'd say, "Are you crazy?"
Yeah.
Well, that's what they're telling the law-abiding citizen. Hey, we need to take your firearms away. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Because there's crazy people out there. How am I going to protect my family?
That's right. Yeah, and Thomas, you know, we talked about in previous shows where, you know, you've got a lot of former veterans, former military, police, off-duty, people retired coming in, and they tell stories that don't make it on the news, and it's a lot about home invasions, home hostage situations, home robberies.
Yeah, you
open
don't
up the
hear any of
safe.
that, but we're a gun range and a store and an academy, so
Yeah.
we hear that every day. People come in and tell us these crazy stories on why they need a firearm or why they need to buy one or why they need training for it.
Yeah.
So I wish I could actually air these stories out all the time, but
Yeah.
I have some stories I could tell you guys. Maybe I'll tell you the next next time on the show, but wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, it really is, and it's all about just protecting yours, protecting your family, protecting your home, and you can go down there and sharpen up the skills as well. There was a couple of cases of people the last news cycle, a couple of news cycles ago, accidentally shooting themselves.
That's right. That SIG was a big problem right now. I think they said 17 people have. It's actually gone off in a holstered gun. So,
wow.
But we want to educate people on how to use it correctly, safely, and for protection. Not only that, but for competition and sport. So right now we have a Father's Day special going on. So you get a 3-month membership for only $50. You just buy the certificate for your dad. You give it to him for Father's Day. He can redeem it at any time. And also we have this other class coming up shortly. It is the Senior Citizens free class. So senior citizens, because they are at home by themselves, we want them to be able to protect themselves. We're going to teach you how to hold, load, aim, and shoot a firearm. You get the firearm rental, the ammo, the target, the instructor, the class, the range fee, the eyes and ears, everything 100% free, because we want to help you to protect yourself.
Yeah, I like that. Thanks for doing that for our seniors. We got a big event coming up with veterans too. I'd love to have you speak at that.
Yeah, definitely be there
when we get that going. So stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. More from our expert contributors here in studio. And we've got Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, Mary Surnicki, Suncoast Roofing, Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy here. And when we come back, our feel-good story of the day and our lightning round. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back after this short timeout.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeave on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And we are hiring agents to our team right now, just really in a growth stage, setting records, lots of listings, lots of buyers and investors that we're working with. So we'd love to talk to you. If you or a loved one is a real estate agent and they want to future-proof their business, we'll talk to you about the Keller Williams way and how we're really growing our business while a lot of other companies are contracting. So consumerqb.com is our website. You can see links to all of our expert contributors. You can submit an email there. Contact us at consumerqb.com. And we've got a feel-good story of the day. Every day we're telling you something positive here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. This segment is brought to you by Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. Restore, reinvigorate, and revive. Say hello to Steve and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions. And they are hooking you up with these vitamin infusion drips full of vitamins, minerals, electrolytes, taking care of your body. And what else do you have in this world if you don't have your health? Say hello to Steve and Lisa Gunnan right on Gandy Boulevard in Tampa. And they're also in Carrollwood office now at Bears and Dale Mabry. Longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show, Replenish IV Solutions. All right, we're back here in studio. We got an all-star lineup for you. We're going to be jumping into our lightning round right after our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
And I love this one. It says, man graduates with a nursing degree from same university where he worked as a janitor. So on Monday, the 29th, Frank Baez graduated with a nursing degree from the same institution where he started as a janitor. Baez, who moved to New York from the Dominican Republic with his family, was just a teenager when he started working at the university, New York University's Langone Teich Hospital. While working with the nurses, I realized I wanted to be one of them. He told Good Morning America, I learned how much they advocated for their patients and the passion they have for their job. Baez was encouraged by the nurses he worked with to apply for the nursing program. He graduated with a 3.6 GPA. Baez is also the first person in his family to graduate from college. He says he's quoted as saying, I could barely speak English at the time when I started working at NYU. Said Baez, now I reflect on it and I feel very proud of how much I've accomplished. So that's a true American story right there, isn't it?
Yeah,
wow.
Working hard.
Yep, worked his way up and
setting a golden. You're never too old or young to learn and train, you know?
Yeah.
Just amazing.
Absolutely. I love that. Stories about, people getting into real estate, having a second income or even parents, they have the kids from 9 to 3 and then they get into real estate from 3 to 7 or 3 to, and they make a career out of it and all of a sudden they're full time and, there's so much prosperity at our fingertips here in America.
Right, absolutely.
It really is,
The land of the free.
That's right.
Absolutely.
All right, let's jump into our lightning round here.
The lightning round.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
I majored in lightning round.
All right, top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Mary Surnicki, ladies first, Suncoast Roofing.
Well, we'd love for you to give us a call so we can send our estimators out to give you a roof checkup. It's hurricane season starts June 1st, and we'd love to get a crack at that before we get into a problem. And also, we'd love to tell you about our Roof for Troops program that we have with Suncoast Roofing and GAF as a Master Elite Installer. And we really appreciate, your service. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay.
Well, just jumping off of what we were talking about earlier with indoor air quality, if you haven't taken a step in that direction yet, a good early step is just getting your air conditioner on a maintenance regimen. All the air in your home is traveling through that air conditioner on a regular basis, so a lot of signs of indoor air quality issues will show up inside the air handler. So when my guys are out there doing a maintenance, they can see if you've got particulate problems. They can see if you've got bioaerosols or molds or mildews going on. It'll show up in the air handler. So we have a great program for that, our VIP program. It's $14 a month, and we come out twice a year, service your air conditioner at no additional cost, go through the entire system, make sure everything's clean and operating the way it should. And you get some other benefits with that as well. No overtime or after hours charges. And discounts on parts and repairs. So that's a great program way to get a jump on taking care of your air conditioner and getting an early view if you do have any indoor air quality problems.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a no-brainer. VIP program, $14 a month. ACGuyoftampa.com is the website.
Correct.
ACGuyoftampa.com. Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy.
Well, I think this hurricane thing really affects all of Florida and every one of our businesses, everyone that lives in Florida. So don't be that person that waits that last second to get your supplies that you need. We have at Florida Firearms Academy flashlights, med kits, everything basically you need. But also, you need to go, if you're not near us, go to this place and get it already before it's all gone. We also sell this stuff. It's called looter repellent. It's called ammunition. We sell that at the stores as well. Make sure you get these things before it's too late where you can't go out there. Remember,
personal protection is a big deal.
It is a big deal. But remember, like even food, they want you to have at least 7 days worth of food. So if during the hurricane week, if one's actually coming, you go to Publix, there's nothing on the shelves there. You can't even buy the water there. So make sure you get these empty jugs now before prepare for it. Just like in any kind of situation where if there's a fire, you got to have a plan. If there's a hurricane, if you don't have a plan, you're going to be stuck out there in traffic with nothing or whatever it may be. Just like in a home invasion, if you're not taking classes with us or someone else that actually trains these things, it could be a bad situation for you. Get the training, get the planning that you need for any kind of situation, so you're going to be prepared for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everything from your backup batteries, your cassette radio, or not cassette radio,
your ham radios,
handheld radio, your can openers, things that you wouldn't necessarily think about. Have those ready. Have them in a bag. Have them right next to the door. Whatever the case is, get that ready to go for this time of year because, this, like Thomas said, is nothing worse than rushing around and, worrying about it because you got other stuff that's coming up too.
Yeah, you never know. A tornado can come through and it happens in a second. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you're in a looting situation or you're in a personal protection kind of thing where you have to protect yourself and your family.
That's right.
You have to know how to do that safely.
Yeah. So I saw something just happened in Ohio or yesterday or the day before. All right, let's do another round here. So top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Mary Surnicki.
Make sure you're using a licensed contractor and make sure that you're checking their references and their sources because it's very important. You could have somebody come knock on the door and give you the best deal, but they're not a licensed contractor. They're not going to be there if there's an issue and a problem.
That's scary too.
Yep. Yeah, and a lot of times these guys are walking up acting like they're contractors, seeing what they can get away with no intentions of actually doing the work, seeing if they could walk away with a deposit check, also casing the house out to come back and try to rob it later.
Yeah.
True story, especially in some of these hurricane situations that I've seen in the last few years. It's a serious situation. People are really taken advantage of. And I know we all want to save $1 here or there, but you know what? Have a licensed contractor, verify the information and make sure that know what you're getting. You know what I mean? Make sure that if it's too good to be true, let's just check it.
I bet you know a lot of horror stories in that too.
Yeah.
Sunbiz.org, one of the best places to check for the business name and just do some research. Yep. Gregg Bowman, the AC guy.
Yeah, I want to just echo off of that because we run into that so much. But taking it just a step further, and even if they are a licensed contractor, making sure that they're a legitimate licensed contractor. There are startups in the air conditioning business all the time. They will grab their license and they're in and out of business in a year or two. So
and your building codes have changed this year.
Yeah, everything. I mean, the building codes change every couple years. So just because they have a license doesn't mean that they still are going to do the job that you really want. We go behind so many situations where a customer may have had us out for the bid. We might have been $500 higher, so they went with somebody else, and then they call us back a year or two later, and they're like, "We should have used you guys." And there's messes to clean up. So just making sure you look at the track record of who you're dealing with, look at their reviews online, look at the guarantees, the warranties that they're offering. Make sure that you know who you're dealing with.
Yeah, we had a client with a similar situation. They utilized refurbished products, old products. They recycled them, put them back into the unit, and of course it didn't work very long.
Yeah, we've seen that multiple times that people thought they bought a new air conditioner and it wasn't. So.
Saving money. Any way that they can skim and save money.
Yeah.
Thomas King, Florida Firearms.
I'll just piggyback off of that. If you're getting firearm training, make sure that the person that you're getting training with is a certified instructor. Make sure they know what they're doing. There's a lot of fly-by-night people that go out there and say, yeah, I'm certified, and you pay this money, and now you can't get your CWP license. Or it's a 15-minute class, which is illegal to do these kind of things. And they're out of the money, just like if you bought, I've heard people put all this money down on a roof, and next thing you know, this guy's gone. And now you all out that money, and
That's
also you don't even have a roof there. So make sure you do your due diligence on who you're training with, what kind of products you're buying. Make sure you're not the one getting taken care of and messed over with. And that's why we're here on your Consumer Quarterback Show.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Great show today. Great lineup here. Companies that really want to help you. And that's what we set up the show for, again, almost 6 years ago now, where it's a consumer advocate-based program. All you have to do is reach out to us, and we're going to put you in contact with the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region that they take time out of their busy schedules to come in to the radio show and serve as a consumer advocate. So reach out on our hotline. Check out the website, consumerqb.com. You can link up with us on social media as well. We'd love to connect with you there. And another great show. Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, Mary Surnicki, Suncoast Roofing, and shout out to Chuck Peterson as well.
Absolutely.
And Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, always dropping that great nuggets of advice and just words of wisdom, especially. You want to be careful about this red flag law out there. We want you reaching out and shaking up some people on that one. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing, carry it with you to and from your commute, and hand it to that person that you see in need. Be a force for good in the community and do something kind for one another. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 102.5 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.